5, 4, 3, 2.
It is Late Night Whispers, and I'm Coco. And how's everybody doing today? Today is such a beautiful day. I have today my best friend. This is his second time that I'm interviewing him. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Name is Suleiman Ba. Good evening, y'all. It is a beautiful day out here, I gotta say. So let's make sure we're all out here enjoying it. So I'm from American Income Life. I have a local office for a life insurance agency out here in Lanham.
Okay, and if you're wondering why I have backpacks on the ground, I have to promote this man. Like I said, I've only known this man maybe 2 months. I created and wanted to start my first nonprofit backpack drive, and he has his check in hand, and he is donating
$600 from the agency.
Woo! This is literally my first time doing this. And today we're going to give out, these are just some backpacks that I bought just to show people, but the backpacks that are being created underneath his name are backpacks that's going to have pens, paper, whatever you think you need, that's what's going to have. And out of some of the money, I'm going to do 2 special backpacks. I haven't decided what. It may have an iPad in there. It may have, I don't know what. So don't lock me down on it. But I am going to do 2 special backpacks out of all the backpacks. Right now we're going to do 100 backpacks. So again, this is my first time. So if there's anybody, my main backpacks I want to give it to are parents that have that are been incarcerated, or parents who really need it. If you need to reach out, if you are a parent that wants a backpack, or you have a child that's needy, please get at me on 202-510-2199. Late Night Whispers on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, whatever you can think, YouTube, you can find me. Can you tell me a little bit about why you decided to donate?
Absolutely. First and foremost, I want to say really thank you, because there aren't too many people out there who think about doing something to give back to somebody else ultimately. Mm-hmm. So and I think this world is a better place with people like you, where we have people doing things like this to find ways to help somebody else in the community that you came out of. There's no greater feeling than knowing that you're in a position where you can either donate or put something together for other people to participate. Yes. And give something back to someone who's less fortunate than you. Because as bad as you think you have it, there's always someone out there who has it a lot worse than you do ultimately. So I want to thank you. I want to give a shout out to you for doing this.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And also too, I am going to interview the other organization, the Pawn Store in Eastover. They have donated too as well, but I will also interview them. And he and I was just talking about maybe doing Thanksgiving turkeys. I've never done that, but that'll be awesome. And also too, keep my fingers crossed, we'll do the toy drive. I just want to give back. I always hear people saying, I'm going to give back, I'm going to give back. And then when they get money, they spend. I am not that one. I am overly blessed. I just want everybody to know that's the reason why I wanted to interview him, show his check, so that there's proof showing that this is not a scam. This is real deal Holyfield. Also too, I'm going to try to give you heads up so that you can be there to also help and pass out the backpacks.
Absolutely. We love that.
If there's anybody who wants to donate, it's not too late. Please get at me. You have my number, 202-510-2199. Email latenightwhispers@gmail. Again, Facebook, Twitter. I don't know what else to really tell people about, but if you need it, don't be scared to reach out to me. My phone is on 24/7. If you have any way for people to get in contact with you.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give out the office number. It is 301-798-5581. 301-798-5581.
Okay, and just give us like a quick 10 minutes of just what your business is again. I know that you talked about it before, but just for the people who may not have gotten to see that particular segment.
Absolutely. So we are in the insurance industry. life insurance specifically. So we basically provide supplemental insurance benefit programs to really organize labor and men and women in our community as well. Our primary focus is really the urban area. We're not focused too much on people in the suburbs or people who have $1 million and they need $1 million policies.
Right.
So we're focused more on the working class families and people who need small things like final expense benefit, like something like $10,000 and so on. Because ultimately, we see it all the time. People have GoFundMe's and
Yes.
passing a plate around in church, a collection plate, and it's just a matter of being a responsible adult ultimately. And protecting yourself. It is ultimately, as an adult, it's your responsibility to make sure your family has something in place. So that's why we focus more on providing some affordable policies, something just small enough to at least bury the person.
Right.
And if they have kids, replace some lost income,
Exactly.
put the kids through college ultimately, or pay off a mortgage, things like that.
Okay, now I just happened to watch a news report, and they're saying the average. Now I don't know whether it's like low class, high class, but the average person makes between $10,000 to $20,000 a year. I just really couldn't even see how much money that would be per month. So what if somebody says, "Okay, I wanted to get some insurance from you. I only make $10,000 a year." What hypothetically would be what they would pay each month? That would be the first question. And then the second question is, again, the scenario would be they have $10,000, they're paying whatever a month, and within 2 or 3 months somebody in their family dies. With that, insurance is covering.
Yep, absolutely. Great 2 questions. First question is, potentially how much could someone pay? So our programs basically are based on someone's monthly income.
Okay.
We want to make sure we keep it affordable for you, because if you do pay the 3 months and you cancel it because you can't afford it, we just helped you waste money. That's not our job.
Right.
Our job is to make sure your family has what they need when that time comes, right? And so as far as affordability, we work with our clients. If something is not affordable for you, okay, we're not gonna give it to you, if that makes any sense. All right, we work with you and your budget, because whether you make $10,000 a month or $110,000 a month, ultimately everyone needs what we have. Everyone needs a policy. All right, and so the person who makes $10,000 a month just is not in a position financially to do the same thing as the person who earns $110,000 on a month, on an annual basis,
year.
rather.
Right,
I'm sorry,
right.
on an annual basis. And so, because of those reasons, we have to make sure we're working with whoever we're sitting with, give them what they need at a price that's affordable for them.
So you work with each individual person individually.
Absolutely.
So just because you may be paying blah blah blah, I may be paying blah blah blah, they may be paying, so everybody's not on the same.
It's not
Okay.
one blanket policy
So
fits
now
everybody.
you're making me want to think about doing that, because I thought about that, because I know I don't make a lot of money. So I was like, I can't afford $100 a month. That would kill me.
You don't need it. You may not need a policy that's $100 a month. Then.
Okay.
You may need a policy that's, I don't know, $10, $15, $20 or $30 or whatever, $1 a day, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever best fits you.
So on some levels, they are that low kind of sort of.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Oh,
I have
oh my goodness,
clients.
so everybody should have some insurance.
Yeah, of course. I have clients paying $8, $9, $10 a month. I have
What?
clients paying $300, $400, $500
Oh my
a month
goodness.
too.
Okay. I'm going to call. I'm going to talk to Donna, and I will do that. Now, I know this is weird, but do you give insurance for dogs?
We do not.
Oh, darn.
We don't do pets. No.
Oh, okay. Have you thought about doing that? Because, I mean, even just to have just a tad bit insurance.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people ask this question before. Our company is not going in that direction.
Okay.
I don't know that, I think there are companies that do it,
Right.
but we're not one of them, unfortunately.
Well, this is a pet world out here, so I had to ask that question.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Pets are kids too.
Right.
Pets are your kids.
Now, do you have okay, now is your insurance, like, let's just say, how would I say that? If I got insurance for my mom, would I have to notify her to get insurance? Like, if I just wanted to just have just some extra insurance Because like my mom is 90, and I'm quite sure she's got more than enough insurance. But what if I just wanted to just have just a tad bit more, just in case something goes wrong? Am I allowed to get insurance without her knowing it?
So once someone is 18, they have to sign their own application because they're technically an adult. And you know, I'm pretty sure there are laws in place to make sure they're protecting that individual as well in the process. They don't want people going out taking policies on people randomly.
Okay, yeah. You know. I just was just curious. I wasn't trying to do anything wrong, but
right,
you know, I know how my mom is. I don't want that. I don't. But you know, you would want to have something just extra for her. And I know how my mom is. She's gonna be like, yeah, that would be a little on the hard side. Okay, so give us a few more little pointers on your information.
Yep. So let me answer the second question you had. The second question was, if someone takes a policy out and passes away within, you know, after 3 months of payment. So one of the most important things for us as a company is to make sure that coverage is effective immediately.
Okay.
You know, if I'm sitting down with you, obviously the company has underwriting guidelines. You know, I'm going to go over certain questions medically to make sure you qualify to get the program.
Right.
And so as long as you're honest with me and it checks out with the underwriting guidelines, and you know, I can take a policy out for you, or on you rather, and you know, I'm going to do the paperwork and send it to the company. You're going to make your first payment, you know, within 24, 48 hours, and coverage is effective immediately. And so if you do end up passing away after 2-3 payments, and this has happened in my 9 years with the company.
Really?
Where yeah, absolutely. It's happened multiple times where people pass away after 2-3 months of paying $30, $40 for a premium, and the company pays out, you know, tens of thousands of dollars to their family.
Wow.
Absolutely. So ultimately, you know, the gamble ultimately is on the insurance company. Now, some people do live to the point where, you know, they pay for it until they're 80, 90 years old, obviously, but ultimately it's the insurance company is always at more risk of, you know, of paying out a lot more money than people have put in. But,
oh, okay. I never knew that. I just assumed that I assumed that like you start paying and you got to at least do a couple of years before you can.
So some companies, sorry to cut. So I didn't mean to cut you off. Some companies actually do that, where they say if you die within the first 2 years of having the policy, only thing we're going to do is pay your family back the money you paid into it. Okay.
Wow.
It's in the clause.
That's
it's in the
crazy.
contract. But we don't have any policies like that. All of ours are covers effective immediately. So so if you pay, as long you pay 1 month, you die, we pay out whatever you were covered for.
Now, just for the health, does any of the insurance cover maybe housing? I know you said that if somebody dies, it would cover the person's, I guess, funeral, but you also mentioned something about housing and mortgage. So can you?
So our policies are life insurance policies. So we're insuring someone's life. Okay. Meaning if that person dies, we pay out, you know, the claim. And so, you know, we have mortgage protection policies where we'll say, all right, how much do you have on your mortgage? Okay, it's $200,000. All right, so, you know, we could give you a policy that covers that. If you die, we'll pay up to $200,000 out to your family so they can use it to pay off the mortgage or whatever they want to use it for.
Because I remember you hit on that last time, and I said, but I didn't really get that. And then, okay, so I'm assuming it'll be the same for, let's just say hypothetically, if it's somebody that I'm close to and they die and then it goes to me. And if I'm in school or I have school debt, that's covered as well on a level?
So we do have, you know, for younger people, debt protection. Okay. People who have a lot of debt. You can get insurance to cover anything, really. You know, if you want to use it to pay off debt, to pay off loans, or to pay off a house, or replace your income, pay for a funeral, you can get a life insurance policy. It basically is a contract saying if you die, the company pays out this, but here's your monthly premium to keep it.
Oh, okay. I'm just so baffled right now. I think I've learned so much right in this little short seconds that yeah, I know my mom has insurance, but I'm going to talk to her and I'm going to ask her, what do you have? Am I covered? Are you covered? How does this work? Before I cross that line. But yes, I want you to give me a few more minutes of something that you can just tell us that maybe we don't know, and then we're going to end up with all about the backpacks one more time. And Is there any more you can just kind of highlight on?
So, I'm just going to touch on this a little bit. Obviously,
Okay,
we
no
can
problem.
keep, further elaborate. One of the things that's extremely important for me, and especially the organization that I work with, is we don't advertise.
Right.
We don't spend hundreds of millions a year to put commercials out on TV or the internet or billboards and stuff like that, and radio. We basically, the company has pretty much decided to utilize that money we could use to advertise to really reallocate it in different areas. Like first and foremost, giving back to the community. We can't, as an organization, we can't just talk about, oh, here's what we're going to do for you. Here's what we're going to do for you. Here's what that's the, and if you pay a premium, here's what your family's going to get. We got to do something more to something more philanthropic. Where we're actually doing something to give back to the community, that same community that we're serving. Us coming out and talking to a client and getting them to sign up for a policy, if they choose to do that, is a form of taking away from that community, right?
Okay.
So why not do something to get back into it, right?
So that's okay. So have you done anything like this before?
Absolutely, we do it all the time.
Oh, okay. What have you done?
I've done this before.
Okay.
Last year, the year before, every Christmas, Thanksgiving, we do, we go to Baltimore and feed the homeless.
Oh, okay.
I run charity contests where we'll raise thousands of dollars as an agency to donate to a local nonprofit.
Okay.
We have one of my top managers right now. She goes and helps. She's helping paint like a women's shelter, where the women were domestically abused,
Okay.
And things like that. And so we do things, get our hands dirty. If an organization wants us to come out, help them paint or clean bathrooms or whatever, scrub floors, we do whatever we need to do, because we got to do something to pour into the community.
Exactly.
That we're serving.
That's how I was supposed to. I had just did a radio interview Wednesday, and that group, Skyline, comes here once a week or once a month over by the park. What is that, 14th and K? And they give out food. And I said, so you all in Baltimore, come all the way from Baltimore to come to D.C. So I said, now I'm going to have to help you all because, they helped me. But again, like I said, we are doing the backpack drive. I hope by next Saturday I can tell everybody when and where. I know school's already started, so I apologize starting this a little late, but I'm going to guarantee that everybody out of 100 backpacks or however many backpacks I have, every child is going to get a backpack. Again, this is my first time, so I hope and pray that if anybody out there, I can't forget Jerry Subs, they have donated $5 coupons, so I have that in every backpack. And I don't know anybody else that's going to make any donations, but I hope and pray that if anybody is watching this, that if you want to donate, if you want to assist, please reach out on either one of our telephone numbers, websites. Make sure that you give everybody telephone numbers, websites, and how they can reach out to you, whether they want insurance or backpack
Absolutely.
information.
So the office phone number is 301-798-5581. My email address is S like Sam, OULEY, B at BAH agencies, AGENCIES.com.
Okay, so we're getting ready to close out this little small part. We're going to have a commercial, and I'll be right back. It's Late Night Whispers, and I'm Coco. Mwah.
Thank you, Coco.
Good morning,
I appreciate
everyone.
you.
Thank you. I know
Please come in. Feel free to have a seat. Introduce yourself to someone. My name is Thenie Freeman, and I have the privilege and pleasure of serving as the Associate Director for the Office of Youth Programs, the program that administers the largest summer youth employment program in the country, and the first mayoral order done by our great Mayor Muriel Bowser, first second-term African-American woman. I mean, come on, y'all. Her very first mayoral order was to rename the Summer Youth Employment Program in his honor. So we are officially and affectionately known as the Marion S. Berry Summer Youth Employment Program. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. In this space, there are many of us who have participated, who were a part of it as a host site in various capacities. And so at this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Norm Nixon to offer some reflections about his experience and just to tell you a little bit of secrets about the Marion Berry.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, we can do better than that. This is a great day. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right. Young people not here, they're in school, but we got to carry on their exuberant experience, spirit of the young people here this morning. My name is Norman Nixon. I am a proud first ever Marion Berry's Youth Leadership Institute participant. 211 of my colleagues went through the first ever Marion Berry's Youth Leadership Institute. It was a brainchild of the mayor who created it to fill a void of training as it relates to leadership for young people. That same training he gained as a student leader, Congressman Fauntroy, Andrew Young, so many of Dr. King's lieutenants who went on to become elected officials and leaders in this nation. I grew up in Park Morton Public Housing. Now, never forget, the resident council president said, I'm sending you down to Howard University to participate in a program that was just created. Don't get in any trouble. And me, as a young person living 6 or 7 blocks away from Howard University, I was enthralled to be able to stay in the dormitory. And I met so many other young people from across the city, and we made a decision after our 2 weeks of training that we were going to make a difference in this city. I met Mayor Berry. I was actually in the training room sitting on the floor, tired, because we stayed up all night and went to work during the daytime. And he came and shook my hand and asked me what was I doing with my life, and said that I'm going to offer you the opportunity to be an intern in my office. So I was an intern in the office first, and then he later called me one day when I was 18 years old, and he said, there's an office out there that is going to be on the ballot, and I think you should run. And he said, what do you think about it? And my heart kind of sunk down a little bit, but being the tenacious person I am, and I said, yes, I'll do it. And so at the age of 18, I became a delegate to the D.C. Statehood Constitutional Convention, thus making me the youngest person to ever hold an elective office in the District of Columbia. And so a very proud moment for me. I got to know the caring side of Marion Berry. He gave me the opportunity to be, I was an advanced man for him, and some of the situations, I can remember playing basketball with him over in Potomac Gardens, me and him playing against the other young people, and him saying, give me the ball, he taking all these shots, and he wasn't making them. So I said, man, I need to shoot the ball, and so I took some shots, and just to see him, I mean, he took his tie off, rolled up his sleeves, and in his shoes was out there playing basketball with those young people. Seeing him being able to just remember the names of people who just were out on the street, or he knew a relative, and just seeing that was just remarkable to me. The Youth Leadership Institute has produced many young people who have gone on to do great things in this city. The program continues. But just last night, one of the Institute alumni, Marcus Batchelor, became vice president of the D.C. State Board of Education. Kwame Brown, who was elected chairman of the D.C. City Council. Kenyon McDuffie, who sits on the D.C. City Council. We have Jory Russell, who's the chief of staff for Angela Also Brooks, who's the Prince George's County executive. We've had young people, NFL, Lelania and Tamara, who are Mrs. Barry's daughters. Lelania, I saw her on TV and in movies. She had a start in a television series. Tamara, who is now leading the Posse Foundation here in the city. So whether it's from education, politics, arts, any field, Marion Barry encouraged us wherever we landed that you need to be a leader. What I really appreciated about him, though, was I can't remember the year, when the Howard students protested and the riot squad was about to bust in the doors and was about to take over the building. Kimry Hughes, my colleague Kimry Hughes, and I got a call from one of the Youth Leadership Institute participants who was on a roof, helicopter flying over the building. And he said, I didn't know who else to call, but they're about to break in here and do harm to these students. So Kimry and I talked real quick, and Kimry said, I'm running down to the Wilson building to talk to Marion Barry. And he said, Norm, you go up to Howard and see what's going on. So I got to Howard, and I'm standing in front of the riot squad with the students saying, y'all cannot do this. Kimry goes down to the Wilson building. And I want to paint a picture for you, because Kimry's, we probably about 19, 20 years old. I don't know of any other city that a young person could go to the mayor's office and get in and have a conversation with the mayor. As soon as he heard what was happening, they jumped in the car, rolled up to Howard University. He got on the phone with Chief Turner at that time and told them they better not do anything to those students. And he came up there and they negotiated a truce to that situation. Great man. He gave us access to the government. And he also said, last time I saw him, Kimry and I saw him, he said, don't let anything happen to our program, to my program. And we took that to heart. So if there's nothing else, any other type of protest, if I get arrested for anything or demonstrate for anything, it would be to make sure that there's always a Marion Barry's Youth Leadership Institute here in the District of Columbia. My children have benefited from the program. As I told them, I said, your first summer job, you're going in the Institute. You can do anything else you want to after that, but you got to do the Institute first. This is so great that the city is recognizing 40 years of service to this city. And hopefully, as we celebrate 40 years as Marion Barry's Youth Leadership Institute, our goal is to find the young people that have gone through this program and organize and become a force here in this city. So I'm so grateful that they've chose me to be in this program, and I had the opportunity to meet the mayor for life, the Honorable Marion Barry. Thank you, and we're going to have a great program this year. We'll definitely have a great program. Thank you.
Awesome. At this time, we'd like a testimonial from one of our host partners, Mr. Farad Tate, who also went through the program and is now a host and hires youth. And he's going to expound on that.
I stand here humbled, as well as having so many opportunities where men and women have guided us through this process of life. And I stand here humbled because if it wasn't for this institute, I would not have met my best friend. I would not have had the opportunities of starting the businesses and inspiring and impacting the lives of other young persons behind us. So I stand here also to challenge any business in D.C. that doesn't understand you have it is your responsibility as a business owner to reach back and give a young person an opportunity. When these young people have reminded me that my business was not for me. My business was only a platform for me to serve my community that has given me so much. And so I challenge every business out there, every person who has the ability to hire someone, to give a young person who doesn't have to look like you, but that young person is you in somewhere. That person is you. Give them an opportunity to experience work, to wake up for something every day that will make them realize that life is worth living. And when we live it together, imagine what we can do to make this world a better place. So it's this institute that taught me that. And it's you all that remind me that every day when I think I cannot, I know I can, because I stand with you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I challenge you to let's get it to the next level. I know we can.
Now, we've talked so much about young people, it's only fitting that we have a young person who matriculated through the program recently to give their testimony. Sierra Boderick, would you please?
Go ahead, Janet.
It's Late Night Whispers, and I'm Coco. And that was a little segment about Marion Youth Leadership. I can remember back in the day when I was in the Marion Youth Leadership, and we got to stay on Howard University for 2 weeks. That was so nice because I got to be away from my mom. But we learned so many different type of things, like how to conduct ourselves, how to get a job, how to keep a job. I was the one who would pass out the checks. And a lot of people who didn't have money, I can remember the Marion Barry would take us, like if there was going to be a party, he would take all of us, take us to Macy's or take us to a department store, buy everybody some clothes so that they could look you know, decent and feel okay. So I hope and pray with all my heart that the Marion Barry Youth Leadership keeps on keeping on and just moves on up with the world, because Marion Barry Youth Leadership made me who I am. But I know that you've noticed that the set has changed a little bit. The young man that left earlier, he was about backpacks. So I have somebody new to interview. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Terrence Hawkins, the Duke of Comedy. Born and raised right here in Washington, D.C. in the DMV area. And I'm just here to be interviewed by you.
Oh, sick now. I've known this man for a little while. Didn't know you did comedy. I thought all you did was sell homes. Well, until I heard you yesterday on the phone.
Well, life will take you in many paths, and I learned that you need many streams of income to become a millionaire, and that's where I'm headed. So I got to do what I got to do. If I'm selling houses, if I'm selling insurance, if I'm selling jokes, I'm selling, and I'm looking to make money to take care of my family. Right.
Now, I know the other day when I saw you, you made this joke about your son. Can you please tell us that one, if that's okay?
I did tell a joke about my son. My son is just he's been a joy. He's the sneaky one of the bunch, because I got 2 grown kids, one 28 and one 26.
Okay.
And then I ended up having one later in life, and I now have a 7-year-old. So he's a 7-year-old uncle.
Okay.
And then I was just explaining how smart he is, because he goes to a Montessori school, and their teaching is a little different. And he we like to play fight all the time. We was wrestling, and this joke is not really a joke. It's just a story about what happened.
Well, I liked it.
And it was just me saying that I'm not smarter than the 7-year-old. He was walking through the living room, and he pushed me, and I pushed him back. And then he pushed me, and when he came to push me, I grabbed him and put his arm behind his back, and I had him, and he slipped out, and he looked at me. He's like, "Aha! I done hit you with the hypermotility." and I had this look on my face like, boy, you better stop making up words. But then he had this little stance like, "Aha! I done hit you with the hypermotility." That look of confidence and that stance he had, I was like, he might be saying something for real. So I grabbed my phone, went upstairs in the bathroom, and I said, "Google, what is hypermotility?" I'm talking about YouTube videos and everything else that popped up. I said, this joker is for real. So then I go back downstairs, "Nick, go to your room. You punished, and don't you come out till your mother come out." Then I was like, dang, this joker is for real. Do you know what hypermotility is?
Nope.
Let me find out my 7-year-old smarter than
it's
you
all
too.
good. I know.
So yeah,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, man, that boy, man, he's always doing stuff and just all types of stuff. But my family is the source of my comedy, because I believe in being transparent. I believe in speaking from the heart, and when I'm on stage, I like to do what I call relative comedy. I want to relate to my audience.
Right.
So before I get to telling jokes, I always ask, who's in the audience? Where are the married people? Where are the single people? So I know in which way my jokes are to go. Because at one point I was single, so I could talk to them.
Right.
Now that I'm married, I can talk to them. Right. So the 14th of this month, it'll be 9 years that I've been married to my wife.
I know that's right.
And,
a black man married for 19 years.
Nine.
Oh, sorry, 9 years.
You giving me 10 years.
I gave you 10 more years.
I might not make it.
Yes, you are. You
I might not make it to 10, but
Sure.
yeah, I'm gonna make it. But
you better.
We definitely have been married and been together for that long, and it's been a blessing.
Well, that's a good shout out because most men won't even shout out their wives. But I do want you to tell us a little bit about your other business and then let us know about what's coming up, because I know that's the main reason why I wanted to get you on the show.
Very well. Well, I am the recruiter director at Century 21 and Vision, right in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. It's one of the few black brokerages within Century 21. And it is a lot going on. Big ups to Reggie Butler, who is the broker over there, and all of the wonderful realtors that work directly for him.
How many can you name?
How many of the realtors can I
you name? By their name?
I can probably name all of them.
Okay, let's see. Because I don't want to. Because they're gonna call you and say, "Oh, you forgot my name."
Oh, that's terrible. You're gonna put me on the spot. Nah, I work directly with a team of realtors. There's about 22 of them on my team, and we run a campaign through Zillow.
Oh, okay.
And we've partnered up with some great lenders and settlement companies to get that going. But it's a beautiful thing, and we are definitely looking to put people in houses.
Right.
At all income levels, because a lot of people don't believe that they can own.
Right.
And they'll always sit back and be like, well, I'm not ready, or I don't think I can manage. Yes, you can. You just need to have the conversation and be confident in the conversation that you're having.
Exactly.
Because if you're just not in the position and your credit is just a little low, we talking about marginal. We'll take a 550 credit score and a $50,000 income, joint income. It could be you and someone else, or it could be you and two other people. As long as it gets to the $50,000 mark, we can put you in a home.
Okay. Yeah, because I know I bought my first home when I was about 25.
Okay.
And I was underneath. I think I was under every program they had in D.C. And there's nothing like, number one, signing so many pieces of paper. I think I was going upchuck because it was just too many pieces of paper you had to sign. But once they give you that key and you open up that door, number one, that's all you. You're not paying $600 a month going to somebody else and you're not getting a dime. I know the first day when I opened up that door, I was just like, oh my God, this is my house. Like, wow. That's right. It's amazing. I think everybody should at least aim to try to buy a house.
And that is what Century 21 Envision does. We put that realization in your thought pattern. We make the opportunity a possibility. So just give us a call. Come see us whenever you get a chance and you're ready to be serious about being a homeowner. We will definitely take care of you.
Again, and make sure you give people the information, because we don't know the information.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. It's Century 21. You can call me direct. My cell phone number is 240-552-4237. Just give us a call and let us know. And I will definitely put you in contact with the right people to get you to where you want to be.
All right, one question. Have you ever had to have maybe 3 people co-sign?
Everybody's situation is different.
But have you had something in that form?
Yes, I have. I've been in a situation where a husband and a wife was headed to get their house, but their credit score wasn't right where they needed to be, and they had to take their 18-year-old who just started getting credit, just bought a car.
Oh, wow.
About 6 months prior, and then everything else, and then So,
wow.
So yeah, it was a situation where multiple co-signers was on the deal.
Okay, I was just asking because I had thought about that the other day, and a friend of mine wanted to buy a house, and I said, I wonder, can you put 3 people on one? And I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, when you're deeding your property, you want to make sure that it is a even deed. You don't want to have 2 or 3, well, 3 or 5 people on the deed because it's a deed. And given a case of a demise or something like that, you don't want it to be a hassle.
Right.
And when it comes time to sell, if everybody is all over the place, you got to go and get those signatures and those signatures notarized. It's a lot to it. So I mean, it's a case by case scenario.
Right.
Every case is not the same.
Okay.
So.
All right. Now, the main thing that we had you here was because of your comedy. So, can you tell us what's getting ready to go on? If we can get another little joke in there, highlight. I need you to give me a good 10 hard minutes about that.
Tomorrow, August the 11th, we have the Comedy Cafe. It's the Caribbean Comedy Cafe, and that's 1220 H Street, Northeast Washington, D.C. It's Truth DC 78. It's a cigar bar upstairs. Downstairs is a hookah lounge, and I'm doing something a little different in comedy, because a lot of places in DC has that upstairs downstairs situation, and this time I'm gonna do, because of an overwhelming amount of ticket sales and people coming out, I'm gonna do a comedy show downstairs, start it, and then go upstairs and start a comedy show up there. Come back downstairs, put on another comedian.
Be worn out.
Oh no, I'm not gonna be worn out. I'm gonna be telling jokes.
Now, where is this on? Is it on the corner of H and
It's not on the corner. It's almost in the middle. If you know where the Popeyes is on H Street, it's right down beside it. It's right down beside it to the right.
By the rice place?
I'm not
Sticky
sure.
Rice?
I'm not sure, but I know it's directly across the street from the AutoZone.
Oh, okay,
There's
okay, I know where you are.
Parking
Okay,
lot right there.
Yeah.
Directly across the street is where
I was trying to get the idea where it is, but I got you. So, what made you get into comedy? If that's the word, or is it jokester or what?
Well, it is getting into comedy. I'm an actor by trade. I started in high school.
For real?
Being a proscenium actor on stage, and what ended up happening was I went away to the Marine Corps, 1997. When I was in the Marine Corps, it was a situation where I was always the funny guy in the unit, just making everybody laugh, this, that, and the third. And something happened on base where we had like a health and conflict. That was where somebody had stolen something that was very expensive, and we were in Japan. So they knew that the only place you could take it was back to your room. So they took everybody, put them down in the E Club, and they had us sitting there. And my staff sergeant came over to me and was like, "You always making people laugh. Get up on stage and entertain everybody and make them laugh." And I'm like, "Man, you got to be out of your mind." And he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna show you how much I'm out of my mind. If you don't do it, you're going to have duty for the next month." So I jumped on that stage and started making fun of everybody that was all of my superiors. All of my corporals, sergeants, staff sergeant, the commander.
Oh, I know they was mad at you.
Blame it on staff sergeant. Because he's the one that made me do it. And from there, I kind of caught the fever of wanting to be on stage. Okay. Because when you're an actor, if you're in a scene and it's not a monologue scene, it's you and everybody else, so you got to feed off of energy. But when you're doing comedy and it's all monologue, it's all you and the audience, it's a rush that I got that I never wanted to turn back from. And then I actually went to Hawaii. I got stationed in Hawaii next, and they had the first Friday comedy show where they were bringing in big names. All of the big names that you've seen on TV. I worked directly with Hope Flood, Honest John, Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Wow, I know that was funny.
They all came over. They was coming over to Hawaii, and the guy that was hosting was in the Air Force, and he was due to rotate to leave the island. So when he left the island, they said, "We're gonna have a competition to bring a new host on." And I got on stage. I got in that. Me and another guy
Neck and
won
neck.
it. We both won it. It was a split decision. And they said, you both going to be the host. So he hosted one Friday. I would host the second Friday. So every month we would rotate. So every first Friday, and I just got the fever. So when I got back here stateside, a friend of mine that was in the Marine Corps with me, his cousin was big time in the city, Billy the Kid, and he had an open mic down at Rose's Dream, and he was like, man, go see my cousin, and he gonna give you some time. And I was able to get my foot in the door on the DC scene.
Okay.
And it's been rolling ever since.
So when you say that you try to scope out the people who are sitting, you find out who's married. What does that do to help you create jokes? Am I making sense?
My jokes are my jokes. They're pretty much in me. I just want to know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
Right, because I like to do relative comedy. I want what I say on stage to relate to who's in the audience.
So that means you can just literally look at somebody and make a joke.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I got jokes for pretty much every scenario you can come up with.
So I'm sitting there. Now, what you gonna say about me?
I'm not gonna really say anything about you. Or you're a single woman.
All right. What's the joke about? Create one for me.
About you being a single woman and all that, I'm gonna tell you, you better hurry up and find somebody. Because it's nothing like having to do a whole bunch of stuff by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, I don't want no man. But okay, when it snow, who gonna shovel that front off?
Somebody who comes past and knocks on your door and says $20 a shovel.
Oh, okay. So you like a panhandler now. You just waiting for somebody to come by and give you something. Okay. Yeah, you better hurry up and get somebody. Say you slip and fall and snap your hip in the tub.
I'm gonna be on that tub for a long time.
But butt naked hurt for a long time. You better get somebody. Somebody come home and find you.
Okay, that was funny.
I'm just saying, it's just different little things you could do. I'm all over the place.
So now Sundays, is this just one Sunday? Is this going to be? Tell us so
we'll find out. We'll find out because this is the inaugural show, first show that we're doing there, and we're doing a day party. It's from 3 to 8. We're gonna have food coming in from Caribbean Citation. Okay. They provide the hookahs and the cigars, so you can purchase cigars.
Cigars.
Yeah, you can purchase cigars upstairs, and you can rent their hookahs from them from the time you're in there, and we just gonna be in there being grown. It's a grown and sexy event. The way I'm setting it up, I like to promote with couples. I like to promote couples.
Right. I heard you saying, what was it, 40 for 2 and 25 for 1? Yeah. And you said, I don't care how it is. It's a couple. It's a couple.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of people. You can be a couple of cousins. You can be a couple of friends. I don't care who you are, but I tell you, it's cheaper to buy 2 tickets than it is to buy one.
Tell everybody about that part too.
So the tickets are $40 a couple, and it's $25 for individual tickets. You can cash at me, and that's my name, Terrence Hawkins, $ first. Terrence Hawkins, this TERRANCE, last name HAWKINS. You can cash at me. If my number's already saved in your phone, then you can just search it by the phone number. Okay. Cash at me. I'll have the cash app information, and then you'll be able to come right on in.
You got 1 more minute, so make sure you tell everybody where it is, all the information, so that just in case they didn't get it the first time.
All right, here we go. It's going to be at 1220 H Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C. It's $40 a couple, $25 an individual. It's from 3 to 8, and we're gonna be there having fun. It's gonna be me and a bunch of my comedy friends.
Okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time. It's Late Night Whispers, and I'm Coco. But before I click off, I want to let anybody know that if you have a business, if you have something that's coming up and you want to promote it, please let me know. Also, too, I am looking for a co-host to maybe want to co-host with me. That would be 2 thumbs up and a biscuit. And also, too, we're looking to add one more show to us. So if you are interested in doing a show, being creative in doing a show, please let me know. 202-510-2199. Late Night Whispers at Gmail. Late Night Whispers on Facebook, Twitter, and Spotify. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I am Coco, and have a good night.